And good morning. We are ready for section 8.3. We'll be ready for the worksheet here in just a few minutes. So today we're going to learn about combining like terms with negative coefficients. Okay. The last chapter we looked at a hypothetical knitting business. We saw that if we bought 2 items of yarn on one trip to the store and then 5 at the same price on our next trip, spending a total together of 56, then the cost for each of those could be found using this equation. 2x plus 5x equals $56. What if after purchasing the 2 and the 5 items, we returned 3, receiving $24 for the returned yarn? Instead of spending $56, we would have spent 56 minus 24, or 32. Now we could set up the following equation, using x to represent the cost per item of yarn. So here we have 2x plus 5x plus the 3 that we returned. Notice what they put in front of that. Equals 32. Now, we represented these returned items as negative costs. They're the opposite of costs incurred. These costs were incurred. This is the opposite of that. So let's take a look at how to combine like terms when negative coefficients are involved. Okay, whether negative or positive, we can still combine like terms. Just as 2 plus 5 plus negative 3 equals 4, then 2x plus 5x plus negative 3x equals 4x. When you combine like terms, you add the coefficients. And this applies whether they're negative or positive. So here's our example. 2x plus 5x plus negative 3x equals 32. Combine like terms first. That's your first step. So 2x plus 5x is 7x. Okay, so 7 plus negative 3 gives you 4x equals 32. Then you would divide both sides by 4 to get x by itself. X equals $8. And then you can substitute that back into the original problem and make sure that it's correct. All right, let's look here. We're going to make the situation a little bit more complicated. Let's say that in addition to buying the 2 items of yarn, then the 5, then returning 3, in the middle of our shopping, before we made the return, but after we made the purchases, we also had a flat yearly membership fee of $20 to a knitting club. So we spent a total of 52. Now 52 is 32 plus the $20 membership fee on all the yarn and membership fee combined. So here's our problem now. 2x plus 5x plus 20 plus negative 3x equals $52. Now it's the same problem as before, we just have one more step. So in this first part, on this side of the equal sign, we've got this that does not have a variable. So first step, combine like terms. That would be 2x plus 5x minus 3x, which gives you 4x, plus bring down the $20 equals $52. Now, you're going to add, because we want to get x by itself. So the first thing we got to do is get 4x by itself. So let's take the $20 off both sides, and we're left with 4x equals 32. Divide both sides by 4, you get x equals 8. Let's look at another problem involving different yarn. Suppose this time we purchased 5 items of yarn and then later returned one of those. In the end, we spent $24. How much did each of those cost? Well, we started out with 5 and we don't know the cost. 5 times the cost of each of these minus 1 that we took back, one of the costs, and the total was 24. How do you simplify 5x minus x so you can solve for x? Remember that there's a 1 right here in front of this. Okay? So we can still combine the like terms just like we've done before. Remember, you can multiply any number by 1 without changing the value. That's why we say there's 1 here. Okay? Let's look how they finished it right here. So 5x minus x equals 24. Combine like terms, or subtract like terms in this one. Okay? 5x minus x, same as this, gives you 4x. equals 24. Divide both sides by 4, you have x by itself. Makes sense? All right, let's look at our worksheet. It's worksheet 8.3. Now, number 1, on this section, you're going to rewrite the following by putting the coefficient directly before the unknown. Okay, remember how we did this before? Just showing you how to write it correctly. Okay, and putting the negative sign in front of the coefficient, as it will apply to the product. If there's only one negative sign in the multiplication, we'll need to take the opposite of the product, whatever it ends up being. So here you have negative 5 times x equals negative 5x. But look here at e. What do you think that would be? It would still be negative 8x. Doesn't matter which way because the problem is still going to be the same. You're going to have one negative in that multiplication. So, all right. And then down here, you're going to simplify this repeated addition. We've done this on a page before. It should be pretty easy on that. Right here, you're going to evaluate each one of these, and they tell you what x is. You're just going to do the calculations. Down here, more calculations by combining like terms. And then on the back of the page, you've got 2 problems here, combining terms. This one has a fraction in it. Don't let it confuse you. Okay, and then down here you got more combining like terms. It gives you word problems to go by. So there you go. All right, and I'm not going to grade this page, but I would like to see it, and I want you to let me know if you need any help on it. Yeah!